Hey, how's it going? This is Horror Stories. We got Margot Kisiel with us, who is going to play a couple songs for us, and then we'll chat a little bit after. So whenever you're ready.
All right, this song's called Artemis and Aphrodite. It's a song I wrote. Here goes. Don't say a prayer for me. It's just that I can't be saved. Please don't say a prayer for me. It's just the path that I pay. Please don't you go away. I want you to know that I care. Please don't you make me wait for the answer to my question today, because I want to prove that I love you. Don't you know what this does to me? It's just something I'm endure. Don't you know it's slowing to me? I don't know if I'm in zone. Please don't you go away. But I asked you to stay, because I want you to know that I care. Please don't you make me wait for the answer to my question today, because I want to prove that I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, oh, yeah. love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. How many should I do?
I don't know. You can play a couple. I mean, if you want to go for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Sure.
So yeah, go ahead.
This is another song. It's called Patterns. The darkest gray, the deepest blues, the same old shit you put me through. I won't give in to you. Silent masquerade, freak and warm up to your doomsday parade. The patterns of reality, crying out for a savior when no one bothers to answer. I hope and pray for this judgment day. I wonder if even this land till I can tell that we're of them. My mind is like a paradox, twisting every way. I lost my grip on what it means. The patterns of reality, crying out for a savior. No one bothers to answer. I hope and pray for this judgment day. I wonder if even this land still I can tell that we're of them, twisting every way. I lost my grip on what it means. The patterns of reality, living life superficially. You're sympathetic to your fallacy. There's no room for a savior. There is no future. Please God, save us from ourselves. Crying out for a savior. No one bothers to answer. I hope and pray for this judgment day, crying out for a savior. No one bothers to answer. I hope and pray for this judgment day. I'll play one more. This is another original, and it's called Vain. It's a song about a bunch of people that use their religion for really bad purposes. So this is what it's about. Give them what they want, anything at all. Fill their desires. It isn't hard to do, malleable. You're favorite buddy. So many people dying in vain. This whole damn thing is so fucking insane. You talk about Jesus, but what have you sacrificed? When you give it back inside mine, I'm screaming, let God say and pray. This sort of thing is hard to say. This sort of thing is hard to say. You're the shepherd, herd your sheep, the sun, fast. Make them hate who you hate, 'cause Father knows that. So many people dying in vain. This whole damn thing's so fucking insane. You talk about Jesus, God, and you stagger out the fight. When you give it back inside mine, I'm screaming, let God say and pray. This sort of thing is hard to say. This sort of thing has got me worried that they take verbatim your life, but their history. If you don't understand, why don't you take a look with their faces buried in their blood? With the faces buried in their blood. Sing ahead for them that can't stand to defend themselves if they haven't seen it yet. Open your eyes and you take a look around. Talk about Jesus, forward after sacrifice. When you give it back, it's online, my redefine. Screaming hypocrisy and greed. Sort of thing is hard to say. This sort of thing isn't hard to see.
All right, that was fantastic. That was so good.
thank you.
Yeah, really.
That was so good. Oh yeah, also with us we have my brother Mike with us.
What's going on, everybody?
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
All right. So how long have you been playing?
Playing guitar or out?
Out. How long have you been out?
I've been doing open mics for about almost a year now, and I played my first show like 2 months ago by myself.
All right. So all right. So you did the open mics, but then actually being put on a show was 2 months ago.
I mean, I did play in two bands like way a long time ago, and I played a few shows with them, but I haven't played a show with a band since for 3-4 years.
You just wanted to do acoustic or what?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to start another band.
Yeah.
But every time I try to start something, it would just fall apart. So I just kind of I'm just gonna do acoustic now.
That's exactly what me and my brother always talk about. Whenever we can't get people to come to practice, we're all just sitting there like, oh, this is forget it.
Solo album.
Yeah. we're just gonna do a 2-piece. We're gonna load the car. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go on tour. We don't need them.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Black Keys is 2-piece.
Yeah.
White Stripes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have our friends in a band called Alleys too. They're 2-piece. Or they get a third person sometimes. For the most part, 2-person. And it just seems so easy. Because you don't need a van. Like we have 6 members in our band, so it's like it's just so much space. It's just a hassle.
Well, plus you got all the drama and stuff that goes with everything. It's
Yeah. Oh, geez. And then we also have props, so we have to make extra room for that.
All right, you keep talking about us, or you talking about
just for the first couple of minutes.
All right.
Oh yeah. All right. So yeah. So what are your horror stories? What are the bad things that have happened to you while playing?
Well, I mean, the one time when I was playing with one of my old bands, we used to play a song called "Rise Above," and it was very punky, and the solo kind of goes like. That's how it ends. But when I hit that last note, I did one of those things where I fell back, and I lay down on the ground on purpose, just just kind of for the show.
Yeah.
My drummer just jumps up and goes, "What the hell was that?" Starts screaming and I'm playing the breakdown. I'm like, "We need drums. It's the breakdown. Get going."
They didn't really have the punk rock attitude. Too concerned. Oh geez, those things don't really go together.
It's like if I died in the middle of the show, I just wanted you to keep going on.
Honor me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember
God.
me. Make sure the song gets finished.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Anything with the acoustic? I don't know how much drama, or I don't even know the word you use, could be with acoustic stuff.
Well, the acoustic stuff, it's a little more nerve-wracking when you go to perform because
Yeah, it is just you. So
it's like if I screw up, it's all my fault. At least I don't have anybody get mad at me. It's like if I screw up, they're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
suck."
It's just me. I'm not pulling anybody else down.
But then if you miss one note and stuff like that, it throws it all off because if you miss a note when you have a full band playing,
Yeah, there's other things that cover it up.
a lot of times you won't even miss it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh geez. I don't do any a solo stuff, so I have no experience with that. So now I'm just thinking about it, and it's definitely yep. Oh, when you're alone, you're alone.
Definitely. So I mean, so far I haven't really felt I had a lot of horror stories happen with the acoustic stuff yet.
Yeah.
It was just mostly because usually when I messed up, it was at open mic, and it's it's an open mic.
Yeah.
It's kind of where you try out some new things, and I remember someone came in with a harp to one of the open mics. Oh, just really awesome stuff.
Yeah, we always just say strange stuff. Last time my brother did some open mics, and someone came in, and they just had 4 people and a trombone player, and they just started playing Ice Ice Baby, and the trombone player was doing.
And it
just
didn't
that
seem
one.
like they came for the open mic. It seemed like they just had the trombone and walked in, and we're like, "All right, let's do this."
Is this
And that was
happening?
so
Oh,
weird.
look, we already have this prepared. We might as well play
Yeah.
Ice Ice Baby.
You gotta love the local music industry.
Oh, yeah.
Open mics are great when just anybody can come in and do whatever they want. They're pretty brutal too, though. My brother was doing something, and he was doing comedy. He was doing
Yeah.
stand up, and he started, and everybody was listening because he had just started. But then you could feel them all stop paying attention, which was just really really brutal. And it just everybody started talking again. So it went from like silence and him talking to everybody just doing their own thing again.
Unfortunately, sometimes the crowds are a little tough there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that easier for, I mean, because when I did comedy, so it's just me talking to, if like with music like that, seems like you would have a easier time getting like attention from the room. Is that been your experience?
You would think, like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on the crowd, I guess. I mean, if someone doesn't like the style of music you're playing, they're not going to like give two crap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it all depends on the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to like know what area you're playing into. Because I played DBGBs a lot.
Okay.
They're open mic. And, that's right in the middle of, like hipster town, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fine and all. And it just, a lot of people there, they're more into like indie music and like softer acoustic stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to kind of play to your crowd a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Learn a few basic covers.
Oh, man. I forgot what I was gonna say for that. That's
Say for the covers, or
I
just
had
for playing to your
something
crowd.
Playing to your crowd, I guess. Oh yeah, drunk people. Drunk people. That's always. I have never seen any people who are more capable of ignoring something than drunk people.
Well, they do the exact opposite. They put you on the spotlight. Like, I know you guys know Pat Nalsalt.
Yeah.
He was talking his stand up about how he played this one show and it was like the most money he's ever made at the show. But the entire time he just sat there for an hour and people just screamed his entire career at him.
Oh yeah.
He's like, it was like the hardest and easiest like $10,000 whatever it was I made.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's a switch. If they love you, they love you. If they don't love you, they'll be pretty darn sure to show that they don't love you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, it's like, when you have the alcohol in there, there's no filter.
Yeah.
They
exactly.
think exactly what they say exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah. I saw somebody get a beer spilled on them at a show, and I was very, very glad that they didn't just go nuts. They just kind of were like, "Oh, that was my beer. Where'd my beer go?" Because they were standing on the there was a mosh pit happening, and he was standing on the edge, and someone just kicked him in the hand basically. Oh man.
Yeah, drinks are not the best to have at the edge of a mosh pit.
No.
Sometimes you gotta be careful though. I saw Jackie Murphy's 2 years in a row in Boston around St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just nuts. It was great.
That started one place, and as soon as you said St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah,
it just immediately went up tenfold.
Yeah.
And this is just right after they started banning moshing in Massachusetts. I guess you can't mosh, and
Yeah.
apparently that the 2 shows after the ones I saw, they actually started arresting people for moshing.
Oh, wow.
I guess it was really bad. So fortunately that didn't happen at the show I was at. We're sitting there. Me and my girlfriend at the time was, we're sitting on the front of the mosh pit. Then I turned to the side and lose my glasses. So I went to go find them. And then when I did that, I went to the outside of the rail, I guess. And someone's like, "You can't go out there." So they threw me back in. And when I got through back in, I landed on top of a guy. Oh, and this guy wasn't happy. Spilled his beer and everything. He started swearing at me, and then he started throwing punches. I backed off and tried to fend him off, and then I socked him in the nose. Blood started coming over, and that's when the staff started coming in and breaking up the fight. They took us outside, and the guy just starts swearing at them, and so they kicked him to the curb. Talked to the one bodyguard for a few minutes, and he let me back in. So that was cool, but you gotta be careful at concerts, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely. Whenever I go to shows now, and if there's gonna be moshing, I always size up the crowd, and I'm like, well, that dude is 6'5", 250 pounds, and he looks angry. So I think I might step. I think I might stay out of this one.
Well, what's nice is you usually get those guys that are like 6'8", 400 pounds. Usually they're bald and wearing sunglasses, and they stand right in the middle of the mosh pit like this. They look around and they make sure to those idiots that like try to like punch and kick people.
Yeah.
They get like
The crowd
tossed out.
control.
I guess this has become horror stories for other people's shows.
Yeah, well, we don't have. I mean, if we have to hope that good things keep happening, and
Yeah,
if good things keep
absolutely.
happening at those shows, then we can just talk about other ones.
Yeah.
That's fine too. You know, horror stories, not stories. Horror stories for other shows that you've attended. That's fine too. Like one time, mosh pit, I was just standing on the outside, but then my friend was like, "Hey, it's your turn to go in." And I was like, "What?" And then he pushed me, immediately tripping me over his ankle straight down to the ground where I just got trampled. So that was something that happened.
It reminds me, I played when I was with my first band. I played a show with, I want to say the band was called like Turn the Lights On or like Lights On. It was, I don't know, it was like 4 years ago, and they started playing and stuff like that, and we actually started pulling away to start a wall of death.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only like maybe like 20 people, so it wasn't like a big wall. But we had a whole wall of death set up, and then we start running towards it, and this, I don't know, I tripped over some guy's leg, and I just got trampled. It was
people get trampled a lot, I'm sure. Metal contests to me are always the funnest, because then I get to people watch, and you get to hear things like, "Can I bring this in? What is it? It's chainmail armor." Like, you only hear that at metal shows. Who else is preparing for battle other than metal fans?
It was like emo shows too.
Yeah,
They wear some weird stuff, like they like wear like brass knucks on their ears and stuff like that.
yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, you got to get ready.
No. What were like your older bands? What were their genres? Was it more punk or
Punk metal? Like, I would describe they were kind of like, what's that band called?
I'm just gonna start guessing. Punk or metal.
They're kind of like both.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's
They big
all
band?
all signs point to Lauderdale.
Not familiar.
Okay, maybe we're more like Bullet from a Valentine, but not like
Okay, yeah.
not as
Now I
like,
have a reference.
but like more like closer to the like death metal.
All right.
So we
Yeah,
had we had breakdowns, but we also had like chunky punk riffs that we sang over. So it was really fun. Just, a lot of times people get into it. You don't really see a lot of moshing at the acoustic shows.
Yeah, metal fans are usually really good about that. Usually really supportive too. I get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, everyone just wants to come and have a good time and blow off some steam. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the most fun. And you have those idiots once in a while that want to like wreck people and like send someone to the hospital, but most of the time those guys are taken care of. Like,
Yeah.
At first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show that I went to. I didn't want to mosh because it wasn't even heavy music. It was like an emo show, like a twinkly emo show. And I was like, I just want to dance. I just want to dance. But then there was one
Skanking?
person. Yeah.
Skank.
I just want to feel it. And there was one person who wanted to mosh. Just one out of the entire crowd. Everyone else was chill.
Oh yeah.
And she was just running around. And she kept knocking into me. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And she would just keep coming back. I was like, just let me dance. All right, lady. I just want to dance. All right.
Well, it reminds me. I was at Darien Lake seeing Blink-182 quite a few years ago, and I'm sitting in the outside in the lawn, and there's a mosh pit that's starts behind me. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's punk. It's a little upbeat.
Yeah.
Mosh to it. But they started like moshing to Miss You. I'm like, why am I getting kicked in the back of the head and it's Miss You? It's like
the greatest surprise ever.
Yeah.
It's like going to a Barry Manilow concert dressed as a guy from Slipknot.
Yeah.
Just start setting up and start like
Oh, man.
moshing in the middle of the thing. Like people are like, what are you doing?
Oh, we saw Slipknot before, and that is the craziest fans I've ever seen. It's like I don't not trust people, but when you see people walking around in jumpsuits and stuff like that, you just like
Like the prison jumpsuits.
yeah.
I mean, you can buy those masks at any party city.
Yeah. But yeah, we were at some festival in Toronto, and me and Mike were together. I had Mike's phone, so we didn't even think about it. But we were seeing System of a Down, and like literally as soon as the music started, we started getting ripped apart by the crowd, and then so it immediately went bad because I had no way of finding Mike, and then our mom was gonna pick us up, and I knew it was gonna freak her out. I was so worried about it, but I was just like, Mom, did Mike come to the car yet? And she's like, no, he didn't come to the car yet. Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me if he came to the car yet? And I was like, oh, I hope Mike didn't get trampled, because I'm just gonna have to walk out and hope for the best now. I hope we can find his way
And
home.
here we are now.
Yeah.
So it did work out.
It did work out,
So
oh God.
So did you survive?
I'm actually a ghost right now talking to you guys.
Paranormal.
I have an hour of ectoplasm left, and then I'm gonna
He's
disappear.
haunting me for letting me
Yeah.
die at the System of a Down concert. Oh geez.
That would be a weird concert to die in.
The System of a Down concert?
You know, you're talking to St. Peter, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened?" He's like, "I died at the System of a Down concert."
There's like 10,000 people there, so if there's one place to die, it's like it's there. You're gonna get trampled.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't like a Slayer concert. We have a friend whose dad used to work for Slayer, and he would tell us like, yeah, the whole room was a mosh pit, and people would be climbing on the walls attempting to get out of it. Like they'd be trying to get away from it.
Sounds like Guar.
Sound like Guar, but with less fake semen, probably.
Yeah.
A little bit on par fake blood. Maybe not on par.
Possibly real blood at the Slayer concert.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe from the crowd too.
I mean, if you go off the members of Slayer, apparently people come up with to them with like razor blades, like please sign your name with this razor blade.
Oh geez.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
that's intense fans.
No.
Yeah.
Oh god. Someone got really hurt and they had to get taken away in a stretcher. But he was like, no, this is my favorite song, leave me. The only thing he could move was like his foot, so he was just tapping his foot. And then once the song was done, he's like, okay, now you guys can take me to the hospital to get fixed.
Yeah.
The fans are insane.
Oh, I can't remember which one it was. I remember going to Warped Tour, and there was a band that did like they had a tent in front of the venue they're playing at, and they're doing some kind of promotional stuff and like just like talking to fans and stuff. And they did something where they like were chugging beer, and the one guy actually like went back too far or too fast and clocked him in the face.
Oh, wait.
He got
Did you say chugging beer or chucking beer?
chugging.
Okay. Because I was like, they're throwing beer bottles at each other?
Yeah.
That's already a pretty...
I mean, that sounds like something that would happen at Warped Tour.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So
I've
I went
seen-
too far back.
I've seen chicken fights at Warped Tour, like.
Yeah, I've seen those. Which at the time I didn't... My head was like, oh, that's a lot of fun. Not like, oh, that's immediate danger. Because if they fall, which they're supposed to in chicken, they're falling straight onto other people or the ground from like 6 feet up. So
Yeah.
you don't think about it when you're a kid, but a little bit older.
But yeah, he clocked himself in the face, and he was supposed to go and get stitches, but like they didn't have enough time for their set, so he's like, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
He put the whole entire set with like this gash in his face, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's dedication right there.
Yeah.
That's what your drummer should have been saying. Like, no, he played with a gash in his face. You can fly on the ground and die or something.
It's the only way I'd have it.
when he's dead, cut the guitar cord, zap him a few times.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
Try to resuscitate him with the guitar. They should have emergency. They should do training like that. Now, what you want to do when they pass out is you're just gonna try and zap them with the guitar. You're gonna you're just gonna kind of pour out a little bit of water, cut the cord, and let it work for a little bit. See if he comes back.
Got the whole Jimi Hendrix and just light him on fire. We're all good.
Yeah.
No, okay, I can try and bring it back in horror stories. Do you ever have like technical issues? Because we're aware that can be a big hassle at shows.
Well, yeah, my very first show with my first band, we played it called Infinity. Started to go on, and I don't know why we thought it was a good idea. We did like some kind of weird guitar solo thing at first, and like other guitarist was supposed to play like the rhythm part, and I was just soloing over it. And as soon as it starts, his guitar like cuts off. Like, what the hell is this? So I'm sort of like soloing like an idiot. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I just kind of kept soloing until they fixed it, and then like we got ourselves back in check. And like, it was like one of those things that like blew up on our face. We're like, oh, this is our first band. What are we doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure those first bands are always great learning experiences. I'll put it.
It's always the first show.
Yeah.
It's always the first couple of shows. Oh man, we always tried like I always end up trying to play outside of my skill level constantly.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, I think you should, because I mean, if you do so, you just get better.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but on stage might not be the proper place to
Probably.
attempt to do that. Like, just like, oh, wouldn't it be sweet if there was a solo here? Yeah, it'd be sweet if there was someone that could do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's certainly not me.
Dude, like, you should do a sweep like right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to sweep.
What's sweeping? I just learned what a gortar is.
What
I still don't know what these chords.
Yeah.
What are these? I also had, there was another show where my first band, we had like, it was weird. Like we played a few shows and then we like disbanded as a band and then like rebanded pretty much the same band a couple like months later.
Mm-hmm.
And our first show back, we played at X Wheels, and we had a really
Right.
really good crowd. We went closer to metal because we were kind of folky when we first started, but we went kind of closer to like just going metal and punk. And so we had our first show and we played with a bunch of like metal bands, and they were really cool because a lot of them moshed to our music. But
Mhm.
during our last song, it was our heaviest. It was called The Oraculum. And when we started playing it, people were starting to like, get really into it. Then when we got to the breakdown, people just started storming the stage. Oop. There we go. People started storming the stage, and when they did that, they they were starting to mosh, and it was cool at first, but then someone stepped on my other guitarist's guitar cord
Mhm.
and just comped out his guitar. He
Yeah.
couldn't play. So I just kept hearing, "Go to the two-step, go to the two-step." So I was like, okay. So I just like I finished like the one part in the breakdown and went right to the two-step, and it kind of worked out nice, but we skipped like half the song.
Yeah.
Great. Oh man, we had a show. Like, this was our first ever show. We started as a metal band, but it was just the two of us. And metal doesn't necessarily work with two people, but we didn't know anybody else. So we're like, okay, just do it. Two people, doesn't matter. But we had never practiced playing in a live situation, so we didn't know what live sounded like. We practiced at home when when all the sound was controlled and stuff, so it didn't matter. Like I can hear you, it's all good. And then we actually got there, and it was just all Mike could hear was low end. So that's all it was. So he just could not hear anymore. There was nothing. He didn't know where I was.
And in low end, literally it just sounded like a straight noise and no
just
actual
white noise.
song.
This is white noise for him.
Yeah.
So the song would just be, we would start playing, we would start together, and then
Yeah.
slowly get off time from each other until we just looked at each other and we're like, okay, let's stop now. Just in the middle of the song, just when it got too ridiculous. And then it would just be pause.
It was great that we were playing all originals because people just thought like that's a weird way to end a
it's a weird
song.
way to end every song.
See, that's like the cool thing about playing stuff that you wrote. Where
Yeah.
no one can come out to you like, dude, that was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, no, it wasn't. That's our artistic image right there.
Yeah. Oh, geez. We were just so glad that our friends were there. So like they'd be like, "Oh my god, that was so good!" Just to be supportive and let everybody else know to politely clap once we've messed up enough.
Yeah.
And then they like, okay, you get like a half hour. So we're like, all right, we prepared for a half hour. But since all of our songs ended way shorter than they were supposed to, we had like 10 minutes left over. So we're like, all right, what do we do? So we had our keyboard with us and we just put it on like a preset dance beat. And then we like, Mike knows this thing called jump style. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's just like techno dancing. And he just started doing that. So it was
that was our biggest hit of the night. People, that's all they talked about.
It's all anybody remembered. It's all anybody remembered from the night. It was just
Kind of be like the Browning.
it was just straight like metal for 15 minutes and then just techno and dancing.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, thanks everybody, and got off.
I gotta add in right now. You're making me like really nostalgic talking about Club Infinity and X Wheels like
Oh my
shows
God,
they
yeah.
can't play anymore.
Mohawk Place, Club Diablo.
Mohawk Place is back though. We just played there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know that we lost Club Diablo. I really like that place.
I had never been there. I heard it was like playing in a closet though.
It was small, but it was, I don't know, it had a nice feel to it. Plus,
I assume so.
Plus, it was pretty sweet. They had like really old time like porn just playing all the time behind the bar, and it was just hilarious to see. Because like the faces they made and stuff.
Wow. All right. But yeah, Mohawk Place back. I loved playing there.
That's a really good venue.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really like playing there. I think the sound was like the best I've ever had there. Just like, I don't know, the acoustics of the room or something. Who knows? I sure don't. I don't know anything about sound. That's one thing.
Huh.
Like, I don't know anything about sound, so I
Okay.
constantly have things go wrong. One time, so like, I know now that you're not supposed to unplug your guitar while stuff is on, I guess. Like, I turned my amp off, I think.
Oh no, you can blow like the fuses and stuff.
Yeah, I did that, and the sound guy got very mad at me and yelled at me in the middle of our set, and I was just like, okay, just had to keep playing the song.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh god, that was awful. I just felt like a little kid, just like getting scolded, and I was like, no one's ever told me that before. I'm sorry. Because I was just like, well, it's only mic'd, so as long as there's no sound coming into the mic, I should be fine. But I don't know. I guess not. I can turn off my amp. Whatever. Don't matter. Yeah. Learn sound. Learn what you're supposed to be doing. Don't unplug your guitar. That's a tip. Don't unplug your guitar in the middle of the set. When you switch, if you're switching guitars, you tell them, you let them know, they can get ready for it, and then you can switch guitars. We're doing learning today.
Yeah.
Got some book learning for you fools.
It's kind of the nice thing about being just acoustic.
Yeah, exactly.
Very easy. Just like you plug in your guitar once, you play, and you're done.
That's all I got to bring too. There's no setup. You just show up. That's like I like music, but the dream job, stand-up comedy. I've never done it before, but it's the dream job because all you got to do.
Dream job once you're good at it.
Once you're good at it, awful all the way up.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you just show up. There's no setup. You just show up and do your thing and leave. That's it.
Yep.
You don't even have to bring a microphone. They already got one.
And you tell stories like you're telling your drunk buddies. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just do that.
Now, as the resident comedian,
yeah,
I'm gonna say it's a little bit harder than that, but
no, you get it.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Though.
A few days experience in stand-up comedy.
I think. So, have you ever had any problems like when you first couple of shows just remembering your songs, or have you usually been pretty prepared when you're about to go out?
I have a really bad habit of not actually writing down lyrics for songs and just like playing stuff off the top of my head.
Cool.
Oh wow. Oh geez, I could never do that. Because then I'd be in my own head. I'd be like trying to think of things, and then I'd be forgetting what I'm supposed to be playing. It would never work out for me.
Sometimes, most of the time it works out. Sometimes I'm like I trip over stuff. I'm like I don't. I think I need to work on my enunciation when I sing. So sometimes can't really tell what I'm saying. So like that also kind of like helps my favor.
Yeah.
Got like the Nirvana thing going.
Yeah. I knew someone, they just had a problem with forgetting lyrics, so it would just go from like actual words to just like like just trying to keep the rhythm going. Nirvana figured it out.
Yeah.
What if we just pretend to sing lyrics?
We'll hit the right notes, but we'll just wing it.
Yeah.
Or metal.
Dave, did we practice them before? No.
We didn't practice enough.
We're good.
What's practice? We practice on stage. That's the best.
No, that makes you think. Is I imagine with being an acoustic is a lot easier. Also, just to practice your song since it's just you and.
Oh yeah, you don't have to wait for anybody.
Sometimes I come in for work, just throw on the guitar and something and just play as long as you want.
Yeah. You also don't have to too much worry about your neighbors getting upset with you, or the other people in your house for that matter. With drum sets. Drum sets are the worst.
Or the best if you're the one playing.
Or the best if you're the one playing.
Especially like when you got like China cymbals.
Yeah.
That's like just like resonate the entire house.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Or just bass too. I did one show and they had this really big Ampeg sack for the bass, and it was a house show, so they were playing downstairs and I was just kind of hanging out in the first floor in the living room or something, and like the bass amp was like shaking the house, and then I was like, they need to turn that down. And then it came turn for me to play, and I borrowed that amp, so I turned it on, and he's like, yeah, you can just leave it on like 6 or whatever. You probably don't need to turn it up. I was like, I definitely do not need to turn it up. I'm going to turn it down. Don't worry about it. It's man, bass just tears it up. Which I just learned about too. It's because it's a longer wavelength. Frequency. Yeah, it's a longer wavelength, so it does more damage. I don't know. I didn't learn too much, I guess.
Well, there's like those stories about military personnel going and like they're working on developing these like they're like weapons, but they're all sonic. They send like little waves and it just like it fries your brain and stuff.
Oh man, are we gonna get into conspiracy theory? I think we should get into conspiracy theory.
Well, in theory, like it works. Whether or not they actually did it, like
I imagine. I saw a thing a military thing where it was just like a panel and it just shot sound in where you could only hear it if you were standing like in the way of the wave. Like the sound didn't go out; it just stayed in like a straight line. And that blew my mind.
Well, it's like well, you know Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
he actually wrote plans for a death ray.
Yeah,
he tried to sell it to the U.S. during World War I. The U.S. is like, no, it's not going to work. Well, apparently, like a couple of years ago, they actually like took his plans and made it, and it works.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that that's out there. Although
super death ray.
Yeah, although that's not what we have to worry about because they're poisoning our food supply and they got chemtrails in the sky and whatever else they got. Thanks, Obama.
All those drones.
Yeah, all the drones. The drones gonna come. I don't know. They're dropping trees though with the drones. That's sweet.
They're dropping trees?
Yeah, they're
like planting trees.
Yeah, they're planting trees.
I thought you meant like knocking them over.
Is that like a drone's way of like dropping the mic?
Yeah.
Like I dropped a tree.
Yeah.
Beat that.
Take that, global warming. It's just like a little capsule. They drop them down to the earth and then they got trees. That's hilarious though, just knocking over trees.
I was like, I didn't know that they were strong enough to do that.
I just imagine it's like a little hand and they just knock them over. Take that.
Yeah.
I still can't get over like thinking of drones in the same way as like Star Wars. You got the like little like guys like walking around.
Yeah.
Roger.
Oh, we've gone off topic here, but
oh yeah,
wow. That's all right. We need to talk about the real horror stories, what the government's doing to us.
Yeah.
The government's trying to knock over trees with little hands on drones.
Didn't you ever see X-Files?
No, I haven't.
Well,
true events.
Yeah.
If it was the X-Files, then we would just see things every day and still be consistently skeptical about everything that's happening. Like, no way aliens aren't real, even though I've seen them before.
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
They cultivated my liver. They're not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just the magic fairies that live in my head.
Our brother has a cat, and we have.
Well, now we're really off topic.
No. I'm bringing it back.
If you can bring it back around to music, then we're really like that'd be good.
Our brother's cat stepped on the piano once and played a couple notes. Boom, gotcha.
All right.
All right. Well, we had a box of Cheez-Its, and the cat just came over and just put his hand on it. And just boom, punk rock, knocked over the Cheez-Its. And that's what I imagine when the drones get to the trees. I imagine it's just just a real lazy, just like
this belongs here on the
this
ground.
belongs on the ground.
All right, so any punk bands listening, bring trees on stage and
knock them over.
That's punk rock.
That's what the government's doing, knocking over trees.
Well, it's more punk rock than kicking over trees.
Yeah. What I talked about with my brother before was long-term punk rock, things you don't think about, like just not getting something checked. Like, oh, my ankle hurts today. I'm just gonna keep walking on it. Long-term punk rock.
Anarchy.
Yeah, 30 years down the line.
Screw the medical system.
Yeah. Like you just set yourself up for arthritis. You're like, well, it's punk, so I'm not gonna make it past 30, so it's all right.
My mom says if I crack my knuckles, I'll get arthritis, but I'm not listening. Punk rock.
Just keep going. If I could even do that. Oh.
Screw conformity.
Yeah.
Let's conform the non-conformity.
Yeah.
Punk rock. Can anything go wrong if you're punk rock? That's the real conundrum. Can anything go wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing can go wrong.
Because everything else is wrong.
Yeah. The only thing that can go wrong is that you play it right. We played every note right. That was a mistake.
Yeah, now we're just like those wannabes.
We sold out.
Yeah.
We didn't even know it.
We played a real song. We sold out. Oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to us. Our punk rock is gone.
We made more than $10 a show. We sold out. No one's going to listen to us anymore.
Which is exactly what we want. Oh, it's a conundrum. It's a paradox. Punk rock is a paradox.
It's like Catch-22.
Yeah. I love punk rock. I love just the idea of it. It never works, but I love the idea of it. You can only go so long with it. You can only spit on people so long before something goes wrong.
They did an interview with Bad Religion.
Yeah.
And they talked about like why like they started like going punk rock. He was like, well, we were listening to stuff like Aerosmith and like in that time, and we like loved it. Like, but like, dude, I could never play that game.
Exactly,
So like
yeah.
they formed a punk band because they they heard like like Social Distortion and some of the other punk bands are in the LA area at that time, and they're like, well, we could do that.
Yeah.
Plus, like Greg Graffin's like ridiculously smart, so he's like, yeah, we can just write some awesome like lyrics about how stupid the world is.
Yeah, isn't one of them like a professor or something?
Greg,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
he's
fun.
he's got like a I think degree in evolutionary biology.
Wow.
He's he teaches like a class at what was it? I think it was like ULC or something. It's a pretty good college.
So he's just trying to be punk. He's getting on the inside. He's taking it to the kids. Like
No,
hey.
right now he's going against creationists. That's what he's going against.
That's
yeah.
actually his thesis was actually about I think really some kind of relationship between creationism and evolution.
Like that they go together, or
Though either that or they're separate. I didn't read it fully. I just know that
Yeah.
like that's the
It's
basis of his thesis.
Yeah, that's like the Ramones. Like they started the band because they just found the 4 people or whatever that also couldn't play instruments. Like the one getting like one of the Ramones just tried to get in bands. Like all he did was play a C chord real fast forever. That's all he did. That's his interview.
Yeah.
I read that they used to just sniff glue and then listen to dial tones on the phone. Like that's what they did. I have to imagine that was their practice sessions.
Let's give you an idea for a song.
Yeah. What if we just yell at each other on stage and play songs for a minute?
Gabba gabba hey, gabba hey.
It's amazing how much impact it actually had.
So I'm gonna actually try and we have a guest here and actually ask you questions. We're just going on. Now you write your own lyrics for this music. Were you lyricist in your old bands or?
Yes, I mean I wrote most of the music, and my at the time the drummer was doing a lot of the lyrics, and I would do lyrics too. So I've been working on my lyrics lately. So
something you're still working on
a little bit.
Yeah,
I've always been able to write music pretty easily, but it just the lyrics are slow to come to me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sometimes I like I write a song and I start playing and I start screaming stuff. I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds cool.
Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta
Something
find
about
what
some
works
pink
for you.
balloons. I don't know. That works. Put this in there.
Or you could just try and like do it in another language, and then no one's gonna care.
Oh yeah.
Invent your own language, then it's never wrong.
Yeah.
Boom. Didn't somebody like Sigur Rós or whatever their name is, didn't they make up their own language? I think
No, that's called Icelandic.
Icelandish.
Yeah.
Oh man, we did a song in Spanish, and our keyboard player wouldn't shut up until we made the last line of the song. Where's the bathroom?
In Spanish.
In Spanish, yeah. Donde está el baño? So it was just like.
Well, like, do you know those random like music channels you get like on Time Warner Cable?
Yeah.
Well, the one it was like a metal Spanish station, and all I heard was just like. It was like acoustic playing. It was like very sweet and sounding and stuff like that. And then it like build up, and the guy goes, "Buenos dias." Good day.
Now, do you speak any Spanish?
I only know a few phrases, but like
Right.
I'm
that like the 5 phrases you remember from high school Spanish.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know a little more French. I took French in high school.
Okay.
All you got to do to sound Spanish for like a long time is just learn the numbers, and then just keep saying them. Just like 1, 0, 2, 3, 5, 4,
Just
1,
say-
0. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, just say phone numbers and be like, I got it.
I got it. I know what Spanish is now. I can say the phone numbers.
Yeah.
Well, they actually have like a little pamphlet that all people in Spain carry, and it just has numbers like, oh, he said 4, so that means he wants to go to the bathroom.
The English Spanish translation where it's just all numbers, or maybe it'll just switch to binary.
No, Spain works like a big McDonald's. I want a 4.
Yeah.
Oh, 4, that's the bathroom. All right, he gets the 4.
They just have a big sign when you get to Spain with all the pictures on it. I want the uno. Please.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why they did it at fast food restaurants. So like, I don't know what that is. I can I have a 5.
So you don't
I want
have
a
to have
5.
any intelligence, and you can still get food.
You don't even have to speak the language. So the picture is nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Oh, jeez.
So here we are, starting on music, and now we're
Talking about McDonald's.
yeah.
Don't go to McDonald's, people. It's bad for you.
Have you ever heard any like Korean metal bands?
Any what?
Korean
Oh.
or like Japanese metal bands?
We saw a Japanese metal band once.
They're crazy. They're nuts. They just the stuff they do on stage is like they just run around with their heads chopped off. It's great. There's one I've been listening to lately. It's Maximum the Hormone.
I'm not familiar, but yeah.
They do like a weird mix of like deathcore and it's like K-pop.
Yeah, I always find that like their culture is always like if it's like Korean and Japanese metal, there's like definitely that Korean Japanese culture in it.
I don't know what you're saying.
That's
there.
what I find. I always find.
No, I mean, like, are you saying that you normally find that they just use other stuff in Korea, or more specifically K-pop? Because I mean, obviously, I think they're gonna reflect their culture. If they grow up in Korea, it's gonna have Korean
You're gonna
stuff.
call me out now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're making me so ignorant. Oh, it's just turning on
Wow,
me now.
Anders' horror story right now.
Oh, geez. It's better than the last show where Pockets they threatened to walk out on me. It was horrible. I felt so bad. I was crying on the inside, but I held it together. I kept them around.
Well, I what I've also seen more is they have more speaking parts, like they have like something simple in the background, and then they start start saying almost like poetry. They start like just like saying things, and they again like really angry about stuff, and so it's awesome because it's just pure emotion.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
No, do you have any idea what they're saying half the
No
time? Or
clue.
just,
I
then
mean,
you
if
really
I-
get the emotion.
If I knew the if I knew the language, I would. But
Yeah.
I usually just go straight to Google Translate. Google's my best friend. Help me out, Google. What does that mean? Oh. I like Rammstein. I always feel like Rammstein just has like really, really simple lyrics. Although if you're in if I was like, let's get big in another country and let's just make the lyrics like I like cats, cats are good, cats are soft. Like let's just do that. But to them it'll sound like whatever.
Oh, like so you're gonna sing in English, cats are soft. Okay.
Yes, sing in English, cats are
I
soft.
thought you were gonna go there and just
I mean,
learn their
that would
language.
also probably be pretty funny. How much would that be pandering? I learned how to say "me gusta el gato." Like, "Me gusta el gato."
So you have any horror stories about learning another language and writing a song in it? And
Having to play in another country.
One of the lines of one of my songs actually is in French.
Oh, cool. So just like the one of them?
It just one line. I don't know why I did it. It just like it just came out. Maybe it was like feeling the Lady Gaga vibe or something.
Yeah.
We
But
are
it was-
pretty close to Canada. Maybe that helped out.
It was "Vous donne ma la vie,"
What is
which
that?
means as I give you my life.
All right. Well, it's 8:00. So
It's
we're
8 o'clock?
You're gonna start wrapping things up. Do you have any music anywhere and social media and stuff that people could reach you?
I have a few things on SoundCloud. You just search my name, Margot Kisiel, and I have a YouTube account. I don't have a lot of things up right now because I still recording stuff. So
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here. Had a lot of
thank you
fun.
so much for having me.
Yeah.
This has been really fun.
All right. Well, that was Horror Stories. We will see you next time.